Exercise B5, line of best fit. 1. Which line would you use as a line of best fit? Why? Justify your answer. So on this graph, we can see that there are lines A, B, and C. Which one makes the best line of best fit? Well, remember, the rule says that the line of best fit will help you model or recreate or predict what the graph is showing you by crossing as many points as possible and also having roughly the same number of data points above it or below it. So line B obviously is the best line of best fit because it's centered around these data points, and on both sides it's very even as well. Line C is too low because most of the data points are above line C. Line A is the opposite, it's too high because all these other data points are below line A. Number 2, the scatter plot shows the number of alternate fuel vehicles in the Government of Canada's on-road fleet between 1998 and 2001. Let's do some fill in the blanks. The data has an upward trend. The number of alternative fuel vehicles increases as the years increases. Or you can say the number of alternative vehicles decreases as the number of years decreases. So these two numbers have to be the same. Draw a line of best fit. So look at your line of best fit and compare that to mine. They don't have to be exactly the same, but you should have roughly the same number of data points above and below, and also how slanted this line is should not be too different from what I've shown you here. In 1995, Part C, there were about how many alternative fuel vehicles in use? So let's go to the year axis. 1995 is halfway between 94 and 96. If we project this up, we use your line of best fit for this. You can see that at 1995 on my line of best fit, I have 3,300 of 330,000 alternative fuel vehicles in use. And then in which year? There were about 420,000 alternative fuel vehicles in use. Well, let's see. So 420, which will be all the way up here. And then we're going up by 2s, 20,000. So it will be this point here. So you make sure you pick the year that matches your line of best fit. Okay, so it's roughly year 1999 or 2000, depends on how you draw your line of best fit, but it will definitely not be 90s or 95. E. About how many alternative fuel vehicles were in use in 1994. So let's go to 1994. And remember, when we are making these predictions, we are not using the actual data points. We are using points that are on your line of best fit. Therefore, you have about 300,000 of these vehicles in use in 94. In 1 year, were there about 250,000 alternative fuel vehicles in use. So let's go to 1925. So 220, 240, 260. So 250 is roughly here. Go to the line of best fit. So it's around the year 1991 because it's between 90s and 92. Question 3. Diana works as a server in a local restaurant. The amount she earns in tips is related to the amount of her total sales for the restaurant. So total sales is shown on the horizontal axis. Tips amount is on the vertical axis. So when we plot these data, total sales 20 and 25. So make sure you plot these points accurately. 320 and 32, so roughly here, and so on and so forth. Okay, so a few of those points were given to you, so you can just fill in the rest of it. Okay, so it should look something like that. When you plot the data, And then for B, what trend do you see in the data? Describe the trend. Well, there is an upward trend in the data. It shows that the amount of tips increases when the total sales increases. Draw a line of best fit. Once again, follow the rule where you can have the line of best fit go through as many points as you can, but leaving the same number of points above and below this line of best fit. So something like this is good. D. When Diana's total sales reach $450, so halfway between $400 and $500, how much will she receive in tips? So when we project up to the line best fit, it shows about $45, $46. And then if she earns $60 in tips, which is $60 in tips here, what is her total sales? So this time you go across 60 until you hit the line best fit. And then what's the total sales here? Well, it's roughly $550, $575. Okay, so roughly